Hello and welcome to sapyard.com. Today we will learn how to consume a Dell Boomi API using SAP ABAP program. First we will see the demo in the Postman tool, so where we will see what we need to consume the API, and then we will write the code. I will not show already written code, but I will write each line of code so that you would be comfortable writing your first program to consume any API. So for us it is Boomi, for you it can be like Salesforce or NetSuite or any other third-party API. The process will remain the same. So you should always go and test it with some testing tool like SOAP UI or Postman, and then try to write your code in your ABAP program. For this tutorial we are using a test connection, and we are using the method as post. Alright, and this is the URL which we are trying to consume. So we will send some data to Boomi and then they will accept it. So this we will be doing using basic authorization. Okay, if you see here in the params we have passed nothing. In the authorization it is inherit auth from parent, or you select nothing. But in the header we are giving the basic authorization. So what does basic authorization mean? This means this is like client user ID and password, so which the Boomi team will have to provide it to you. And another important thing which you need to pass is the content type. So wherever you try to consume the APIs, you will have to specify the content type, whether it is application/JSON or is application/XML or whatever options you get. So you need to know that. So this information also usually the Boomi team or the third-party team will provide you. So you will need to have the content type, you will have the authorization type, and then in the body you need to send the data. So for our case it was like a string. These are like bunch of data, but don't worry about this. This is like whatever your Boomi team says, you have to format it in the same format and pass it. So once I have set the header, so in header it is content type and authorization, which is the basic. In the body you put the data, whatever data it can be hard coded for testing in Postman. And then once you hit send, it is trying to connect to Boomi using the credentials which we have provided, and then it will try to give us a response. So if the response is in 200 series, that means it is okay. Alright, if it is 400 or 500 series, then you have issue. So you have issue in passing the data, it can be bad data, or the connection is refused. Alright, for our case it is successful, and if you see they have also written that this status is success. So the same thing which we did, what we passed the data in the headers, then we passed the authorization, we call the post method, and then we pass the information in the body and hit the send button. All this activity we will do now step by step, one by one in ABAP program. Alright, let's go to SAP Editor and start writing our code. So I'll put this Postman screen side by side, and then we'll start writing our program. So I'll create a new program, say ZT SAP to Boomi. Alright, I'll create a new program, POS SAP to Boomi integration. Alright, so I'm trying to go very slowly, and if you do not have, or if you have not written any ABAP program for consumption of APIs, then this should be a good guide to you. So I'll go very slowly. So see here, first we need to point to this URL. So let me go in a procedural language. So I'll say perform, say call REST API send URL. Okay, so I'll create all global variables, so just for the ease of our programming. I'll just create a subroutine, and then here in the subroutine what I'll do, I'll just point to that URL. So instead of hard coding, you should go, you can hard code, or if you want to make it flexible, say in your quality the URL might be different. So I'll select it from tvarpc. So we have already saved in tvarpc. So let me go to tvarpc and show you. So here I have saved with Boomi. So, okay, if it is not saved, then I'll save in Boomi. Okay, so I'll go to SC93. I don't remember the transaction, STVARBC. Alright, so I'll use this transaction. I'll create a new entry. Say, okay, I'll say Boomi post API URL. I'll give this URL, I'll copy this URL from here, put it here, and I think you know that you need to hit this if you want to save it as case sensitive. If you don't save this, everything will turn uppercase. So I always love to keep it in the same case. So now we have saved it. So this is not a mandatory step to put it in tvarpc, but just to make it flexible, you can keep it. So I'll do select single from tvarpc into, I could have used the new syntax data this, but what I'll do, I'll specifically put it in a local variable, okay, because later on I'll need it in a string. So lv, I'll say send URL type string. So select this in single this into, okay, select single low, so I need to specify the field name also, into lv send URL where name equal to whatever we gave little while earlier, and type is, I think it should always be parameter because I did not select the select option. So let me go to SAP table. This is the name, this one. So I know it. So if I did not want to create the program and show you, so I wanted to create it from scratch, so please bear with me. So if this is successful, then we'll call the client. All right, so we'll be using the HTTP client. So I'll go to pattern, I'll go to ABAP objects. This is the class and this is the method which we'll use. So we don't need all this, we are going by URL, and I think we should handle the exceptions just in case it dumps. And URL is this URL which you have already selected. So URL is this URL, we are passing it, and what we're importing the client. So what is this? So I could have done data and then got a local variable, but I want to use it as global, so I'll just name it here and define up. Okay, so don't worry, I'll just show you what I'll name, http underscore client, and then I'll copy this. So I'll go up and declare a global variable. So you can structure is better, but I'm just showing. So it will be type ref2. So what is the type ref2? So it will be if http, this is the interface client. All right, so let's see printer, and let's see if we have any error. Okay, oh, I wrote it should be if. All right, so let's see. All right, so if you go to this cl http client, so you'll see that you have so many methods. So I am using this one. Okay, so we are using http create by URL. So if I go here, you can just search for it. Actually, see, create by URL, you'll find that create by URL. All right, okay, now so we did the first step. So next step is, let's put the post method. All right, so we need to specify that we want to do a post method. Okay, so did I do something? Okay, let me just clean it up. I'll just remove this, it's too much information, and I think I should put this data in front above the subroutine. Then what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to call the or set the post method. So I'll do set post method. So what are we trying to do? We're saying that we'll call this URL and we'll do a post method. So if I click on this, I'll just create a subroutine. No, I don't want anything new. I'll just remove this, guys. And then in the post method, so you need to understand that that class which we called, it created a this one, right? HTTP client. So what we'll do, we'll just use the pretty printer, maybe, oh sorry, pattern, again this, and then we'll say what we want request. Okay, or we can go directly. So we'll do the call method, then we know the object give space. So this is my HTTP client. I know the method, not this, request. All right, and then I'll do set. Let's see if we get set method. Yeah, set method and control space everything. And then we want to import the post method. So they have given a constant. Let's see what is this give. So you do not have it, so let me put it as a constant, and I'll say this is global constant and post. All right, now I need to define this constant. So let me go here, I'll go to top constants, I'll give this type string value post. All right, so what did we do? So we just simulated that. First we did the URL, and then we created, say that we are trying to say that this call will be a post call. All right, so a pretty printer, let's see if everything's okay. Yeah, everything looks good till now. Let me save. Now the next step. So next step in the postman was to get the authorization, right? So if you see here, you have to pass the authorization, and this is nothing but user ID and password. So you can do it in auth tab and give here, and which will automatically be taken in the header section. So we want to now build the user ID password, so you need to save it somewhere. So just like we saved the URL in the tvarc, let us try to save this also in the tvarc. So what I'll do, I'll just copy this. I know this one. I'll go to tvarc. So where is my SAP? All right, here I'll add one more entry, put the first, and let me see what name should we give. So the same name we have to give in our program. So okay, so I have Boomi authorization. I'll hit a save. Now let me create a subroutine which says like perform, we can say get secret, what do you say, token. Okay, let's give this get secret token. So I'll go here. So I created one new subroutine. Now so it's just same like this guy we did. We'll just select here, and then instead of Boomi URL, you'll give this as the name. All right, and instead of here, I think I will give it as say JV authorization. So I'm using it in a global variable. So and this GV authorization is not created yet, so I need to go up and then define it. All right, so I think we are good. Pretty printer, let's see. All right, so this is good till now. I'll save it. So after the secret token is given, then you need to set the header. So this is header, right? So till now you just got the secret token, but you need to set it as basic and this. So what I'll do, I will then create the actual token. All right, how do I do? I'll just concatenate it. Okay, concatenate. I'll say basic, 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 and then I'll say GV, that is the authorization, into GV authorization separated by space. All right, so this thing is built now. All right, so we built the string, but what about putting it in the header? So for that we need to call some other methods. So for that, let me create one subroutine which says set HADR header field, and I want to reuse it, so I'll say using GC. Okay, I need to give the text also, authorization, and then GV authorization. So this GC authorization I need to define, because here I want to send the text as authorization. So if I go here, type string value authorization, AUTHORI. So what I'm doing, I'm just whatever is there in the postman, I'm setting it here, and whatever is in the value, I'm giving this value. Now I need to define the subroutine. I'll just remove this. I'll just say GC, what should I name here? Say attribute name, just for clarity, and this is attribute value. I'll just make it value. So we'll use the same class. Let's say, so we have one global class. That's the reason I created a global class, but you can make it oops better. So this is a request which you are sending request, and what is the request? We are saying set header. So there are set header fields and set header field. So we'll use the field, means one at a time, but you can also use fields. So I'll hit this and shift enter. So it will ask for the name of the header. So this is the name. For our case, this one is authorization, and this will have the actual value. All right. Okay, now let me see the pretty printer, check it one more time. So all good, so I'll save it. Now I go back up. So we did add for the authorization. There is one more header field which we need to add. This is the content type. So this is very important. So we have checked that if you don't send the content, others are like optional while calling from ABAP program, but content type is needed. So what I'll do, I'll copy this again. So that's why I had this using parameters, and now here I will say content type. All right, so I'll say content type, and what is this content type? This is also a constant. Why? Because this content type is application/JSON. So I'll say this content type is application/JSON. All right, so I need to create both the constants now. So I'll go here. Okay, I just control D. I hope you know that control D will copy your same line, type string. Now value is, I hope you know this. What is the value? It is exactly how is there in Postman, content type. All right, no caps. So this guy is the same over here, content type here, right? You can see my cursor, and now I need to give the value also. So I'll just select this, I'll control D, I'll change the value here, which is application, and this should be not type. Now this time is the value, which is JSON. All right, so till now it should look good. Let me activate it. Okay, working fine till now. So we have done three things. We created the URL, we told the program that it is a post method, and also we gave the header information, which is content type and the authorizer. Next we need to prepare the body. All right, so let me don't be scared with this big numbers. This can be it might be just one line for you or 100 of lines for someone else. So it depends upon the business requirement, but your Boomi counterpart will tell you exactly what format they need, and you need to just format it and send it to them. So for now, let me show you how we are doing for this demo. So I'll say I'll give a name, say prepare API body. All right, so and I'll show you exactly what we are trying to do here. So I'll just delete this. So I know that I will be sending a string, so I'll just create a string, or maybe JSON type string. So I'll need a string, and then where I'll get the string I'll tell you, but how do we pass it? Let me show you that. So we will use the same call method. So we have this client, right, and then we will do the request. So what is the request, and then what are we doing in the request? We are setting the data. So there are couple of sets, so we'll do set C data. Okay, so this will, remember, for us I'll hitting control space and then it will give me tab this and hit the tab, this character type. So I'm trying to use this value which is on the top, this one, right, LV JSON. Now this LV JSON is blank, so for you, so you can just hardcode this, or you might need to say you have to send sales order data or say purchase order data, billing data, whatever is your business requirement. You have to do all your selects and start putting data in this in this string in the format which your Boomi team asks you. So for our demo, we are trying to send an XML from the IDOC. So let me use a simple way. So what I'll do, I'll just pass an IDOC number, get the XML from it, and pass it to this set method. So let me show. So I need to get the IDOC data. So let me see data. I'll create a new class. I know the class name which I want to fetch the information from. So this is just type cl_IDOC, and then I think I need this one. All right, and let me, I know the IDOC number, so I have a IDOC which is 198. I don't remember the number, so let me go to my system. Let me pause and go to my system and get the IDOC number. All right, okay, I'm in transaction W02 and I'm searching for one IDOC which we can use. So all right, I'll use this guy. Okay, so 198015. So 198015. So I'll try to send the details of this IDOC. So what I did, I just created an instance of this class and assigned this IDOC value. All right, and now I want to get the XML of it. So how I'll do that? So there is a method in the class. All right, the method name is, so let me go low, IDOC, and then let me see what are the methods. Get, yes, get XML data as string. Okay, this should help us. So tab data string. What is the data? This is the okay, so LV JSON. All right, and then I will just uncomment this two part. Rest, this is not mandatory. So all right, so we are good till now. So what we did was, we are trying to send a data in this format, which is XML format. So what I did, I picked one IDOC from my system, converted, put it in this class instance, and then got that XML in this one. So I'll debug and show you, and then once you have the XML, I'm just passing it to our HTTP client and setting the data. So what you did, you put in the body of the call which you are doing in the XML format which they are requesting. So we have done major chunk of our development. So we have done the difficult parts. Now it is just the formalities. So now we need to just send the method. So set. So we have prepared the body. So we'll do send method. In the send method, we'll just call one more class. So you don't need to pass anything. So I'll go here. So till now we have created using this. So we'll use the same again. Alright, so I'll just remove this. I'll do call method for HTTP. So this is the only class we have. And then we'll do send. And then hit tab. Alright. And I don't want to show you the error handling, but you should always do the good error handling. And I also don't want to timeout. So I'll just so this is not needed. So just do the exceptional handling. So if you do, this should be fine. So we just did send. Next, after send, we have to receive the method, right? So what we did, we prepared the body, prepared the header, we send it. Now we are in a position to receive the response. Perform call, maybe call receive method. So this is also just a call of a simple method. Let's see that. I'll just remove this, and then same thing what we have been doing. HTTP client, and then we'll just call one simple method which is receive. I'll hit control space tab, so it gives everything. Let's keep the exceptions available, and you need to handle it, but I'm not handling for demo purpose. So we have now received, but you want to see the response also, right? Whether it is success or failure. So what is the next step? The next step is to read the response. All right, so I'll say get response, maybe status. So you know that whenever status is 200 series 204 200, that means you are good. If it is 400 or 500, then there is some problem. So either it is the front end call issue, or bad data, or back end server connection issue. Okay, so 400 has some meaning, 500 has some meaning, and 200 series has some meaning. So in this response, so you need to get like the code and the text, so that you know you are doing good. So I'll same HTTP. So we'll just call a different. Oh, why did you call method? Okay, call method HTTP, and then I'll say response, and then I'll say get status. Get status, control C, yes, get status. I'll use this guy, status, control space, and then hit enter. So you get importing the code and the reason. So it will say okay, and this will say 200 or 204, and this will say it is okay or not okay. All right, so I want to make this as global variable so that I can print it outside. So I'll say gv http status code, and we need to define that, and this is like gv http status text. So whenever we'll debug it, probably you'll get more clarity. So I'll need to go up and define them. All right, so here I'll say this is the HTTP code, and then I also need the text. So what I'm doing, I'm keeping a cursor here and control D, so that will duplicate the line, and then just changing it to and pretty printer. So let's see this. Okay, it's not compatible with the code. All right, let me check that. So this is we have defined it as a string, but it should be a numeric, so it should be I. So how do you know that? If I go here, I'll say http entity. You see this HTTP code is type I, so that was the mistake which I did. So let me go up, and then just instead of string, I'll just make it as I. So now it should be happy. Let me do this. So let's see. Oh, code. What did I do? Up, sorry. Text now. Text. This is the code. So this is text. Text is string. So the text should be string, while the code should be integer. All right. Hopefully this time it will not cry. Okay. Perfect. So we are done with the program. All right. So maybe I'll just write one line of code which will say print it. All right. So what I can say is write. So this is not a very good programming, but this is just for a demo. So let's see, Boomi request. Okay, we may return code and text. So this will give us maybe where do we want to? It will be in gv http code, and then I'll say slash gv http text. All right. So we are good with our program. Now let us quickly see the output, and then we will debug it. All right. So let me just hit the execute button and see what the output will be. So it's still churning. All right. So Boomi return code is 200 and OK code is okay. So if you see here, so where did we get it from? So this is the one. If you see here, 200 is the text, code, and OK is the text. So this is what we just read it. So in case you want to read the header value, so if you want to read the content length, what is the length, we can also do the same. So just like what you did for set header, you can do the opposite way, get header, and you will get what is the response header attributes and the values. All right. So let us now quickly do a quick debug and go step by step. All right, so that you get more clarity. All right, so I have put the breakpoint. I'm executing it. So it goes here, it gets the data in the URL, and then it creates HTTP client based out of URL. Okay, so this, if you see here, now this has been instantiated. So now post method. So post method was, we are just telling the system that it will be a post call, not a get call or a patch call or a delete call. So it is a post call. Next is get the secret token. So secret token, we have put it in this global variable, which is coming from a constant table or t-var-c, or if you know that it will always be same, so you can put it in the constants also. So but I have kept it in a table and pulled it based on this parameter. Now I'm trying to build it just like what we need in the, so if you see here, basic. So in some cases you might need a bearer space than the user credentials. In some cases it is basic. In some cases you might not need basic also, it can be just user ID and password. So depending on how they are accepting it, you have to frame it accordingly. So we have created our credentials. You see a basic and then the credentials. Now we are setting the data in the header. So what that means, we are setting the data like this. We are saying this is the authorization and this is the value in the header. So how we do in the header, you see that set header field. So in this we have given the attribute name as authorization and the value as basic value, right? So you go here. Next we are setting the content type. If you go here, this is the content type, which is application/JSON. So content type is content type and the value is application/JSON. So we are setting it. You are using the same set header method, and we are done. Now we are preparing the data. So data, this part will be different for you. So I'm sending an XML, you might need to send a JSON, you might need to send something from SAP tables or some hard-coded value depending on what your end client is expecting. So for this, so I've just picked a IDOC. So if you see here, I have the IDOC data now, everything is here. Now this IDOC data, I am catching it in a string variable just to make compatible with this one. So in the string variable, I have all the data in the XML format. All right, so this is the data. If I see in the table format also, this is XML data. All right, and then we are just doing the set data. Set data means it's like copying pasting in this part of the post. All right, so we just set the data. Now we are done with everything. So we told the system to post it. We know the URL. We know we have given the user ID and password. We have set the header, authorization, and the content type. We have prepared the body. Now we need to send the method. Send method means you are just hitting this send button. You see here this send. You are hitting the send button. So now you are sending it. So we have sent it. Now we'll receive it. Receive it means it will start coming in the bottom part. So we have received it. Now we want to see what we were sent. That means, so we want to see what this status code was and what was this OK code. So if we do F6, so we received it. If you see here, OK code is 200 and the text is OK. So if it is like 404 or 400, then it might be text will be like bad request, incompatible format, did not recognize. All those error messages will start showing up here. And then we just did a simple write statement to show the output. So this was all we wanted to show. I know this is too basic, but we wanted to show that the first time whoever is consuming the API, they should not be scared. So we understand that Postman is not that frequently used by most developers, but in today's world with S4 HANA and all the integration we are doing with all the third parties, so APIs are like very common, and that will be our bread and butter. So you should get familiar with Postman and SOAP UI and all other testing tools, right? And we chose this simple program because this will not scare you. So later on, or you can see our other videos where the authorization process may be 2 steps or 3 steps, where you need to get the access token, then read the access token using one get or post method, and then use that access token and post the data using another API. So those are like more complex authorization process. But whatever it may be, if you can simulate it in your Postman and then build it step by step, you should be able to achieve any integration using SAP ABAP. So if you like this video, please do give a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. In the next video, we are planning to show OAuth 1 integration with SAP and consuming it. So we'll consume a NetSuite API using OAuth 1 method. Alright, so please stay tuned. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for supporting and encouraging SAP Yard. Please like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, LinkedIn and Instagram. Please do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that bell icon. Please email us at mailsapyard@gmail.com or WhatsApp us at +1 251 727 9273 if you have any queries. Looking forward to seeing you live on the training day. Have a safe and wonderful time ahead. Thank you very much.